So the JK Rowling situation has continued to go on. I actually made a video on this on my second channel. The link for that will be in the description. By the way, getting very close to 40,000 subscribers here, getting very close to 2,000 subscribers there. So if you guys haven't subscribed to either, and obviously click that bell, please make sure you do. This is one of those more edgier, riskier videos that I've just been craving. I've always had this potential in me to do this. In fact, years ago, I actually did, on this channel, but I've gotten away from it in recent time. But I'm going back. I'm going full steam, and we are not going to stop. So, look, again, this JK Rowling thing, we talked about it on the second channel, and here's where I stand. She can have, because I think it's probably very important that you guys know going in, she can have literally any opinion she wants. That's the biggest thing. I don't care what she says, and I feel like that's what makes the Jim Sterlings of the world, that's what makes the Kotakus of the world literally melt, like their minds literally melt away and said, wait, we don't have to care. I don't even know what that means. That's literally what happens to a lot of the idiots, I truly believe, of the world. And this is one of those cases, by the way, these more edgier, riskier videos are a little bit more like, I just don't care what people may think of me or anything like that. I'm going to tell you how it is. I'm going to tell you at least how I feel. And in this case, this is something I don't really try to preach at you guys, right? I definitely am one that says everybody can have their own opinion, and you can. But by the way, this is literally that. Have your own thoughts. That's literally the whole point of this, and that's what Kotaku, Jim Sterling, anybody that's shoving this thing down your throat, any of the crybabies out there saying you need to boycott the game, any of them, those are the people that actually don't care about what you have to think. They want you to think what they think, and that's what I said. Okay, in the past video. Look, we got this. Kotaku. Report. Warner Bros. Games president says, and I'm not even going to say the word, JK Rowling has the right to hold her own opinions. Now, this is not necessarily ratioed, but 1.8 thousand likes, 2.5 thousand retweets, and then 676 comments. I left the comment on there. Firstly, they're itching for a lawsuit. I don't care what you think of JK Rowling. And by the way, I am not defending her. I'm not even going to talk about what she thinks. You want to know why? Because I don't care. And it doesn't impact literally anything. And again, that's what they just cannot absolutely stand. It's like, wait, she actually has nothing to do with this. Very little. Very little. The only really thing that's going on is they're using her world. And oh my God, that's obviously, that's the right to terminate right there because they did that. But calling her this, that's an extremely... Well, that's a clickbait, title. That's the first thing. It's a very catching, title. But at the same time, they're itching for a lawsuit because you're hurting her public image, whatever law and that is absolutely a law, unless they have proof of that. And if they are actually damaging her brand or damaging her while pushing fake news, in any way. Anyway, I know people maybe say, all this stuff about fake news. Well, look, that is actually a thing. If they're found to be pushing this stuff and there's actually no concrete evidence, they can be held accountable big time. They could be in some massive trouble. So that's the fun thing. Hopefully Kotaku does get hit with that. I really do. And again, I don't care about JK Rowling. Maybe she can go down too. But Kotaku, I hope, honestly suffers for that. Now we go to the actual quote, and this is where people are just going to lose their goddamn minds. This was from our best friend Jason Schreier, which obviously that's sarcasm. And this is the Warner Bros. Interactive president, David Haddad. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but whatever. And he was asked about the company's association with Rowling after the announcement of Hogwarts Legacy. His response was, not a lot I can comment on, other than since we did get so many questions, I wanted to be responsive in the best way I could. The way I think I'd like to do this is, I'd like to echo something you've heard from our most senior executive leadership. While JK Rowling is the creator of Harry Potter, and we are bringing that to life with the power of Portkey, in many places she's a private citizen also, and that means she's entitled to express her personal opinion on social media. I may not agree with her. I might not agree with her stance on a range of topics, but I can agree that she has the right to hold her opinions. That's perfect, and we'll talk about that in a second. But then IGN continues. They say, obviously she's not directly involved, all that kind of stuff, and then it's led to an ongoing discussion about boycotts for the game, with some arguing that the author's views shouldn't be tactically supported by buying games associated with her, while others point out the potential negative consequences on the developer of the game, most of whom have little say on the products they make if sales are low. It's within the context of this debate that he's been asked for his opinion, and his comments are likely to spark further debate around his company's vested interest in Rowling's Rowling's work and the intersection between public opinion and what many consider to be hate speech. It's not, I don't know what the many they're talking about, many consider to be hate speech. Again, she's got every right. That's the problem with society nowadays. Because you say something out loud, that does not make it hate speech. Because everybody has the right to just completely not listen to you. The freaks and losers that are listening, and they really, maybe they're not, maybe I'm being a little too hard on that. Sincerely, the people that are listening to JK Rowling that are so offended, whatever, you don't actually have to be the kind of person, I don't want to, say all these words, the kind of person that she's talking about or that she's so anti, you don't even have to be that person, but like anybody, if you're so offended, truly, again, sincerely, do not be. She's one person. She's not your parent. She's not your relative. And by the way, it doesn't even matter what they think. That's the whole point. In fact, this is the best summation of what my channel is all about. Be yourself. And I don't even like that quote from Miles Morales. You know what I mean? I'm not even stealing that, because actually I've always said that. Have your own opinion. Be independent. Be literally yourself. Don't listen to others. Make your own judgment call. Do the research. And I'm not even saying like on this stuff, like literally anything in life. Do the research. Form your own opinion. And if you don't want to listen to somebody, don't listen to them. But especially JK Rowling, it is definitely like a double-edged sword, actually in a good way, because this also shows these Hollywood elites, right, which JK Rowling is, just shows, one, how out of touch they are, and also maybe how evil they are. But it also does, again, make the extra point that I don't care what kind of Hollywood elite, I don't care if they make good points or bad points, they are pointless. They are there to, yes, everybody has the right to, like, I'm not one of those people that say that if you're like a musician, you can't have opinions on this, or if you're in the game industry, you can't talk about politics or whatever. No, everybody's entitled to talk about whatever, but you are 1,000% entitled to just flat out not listen to them. And I think the point that they get kind of confused, or people get in that discussion, is people go to them for certain things. So when they start talking about other things, people flat out do not care, and they take offense to that in some way, when it's like, in reality, it's fine, because they don't come to you for that. You can't all of a sudden say, well, you need to start coming to me for this. You need to start listening to my voice. No, nobody has to listen to you. You know what I mean? Like if Angry Joe starts going on politics and he gets so mad, it's like, well, nobody has to listen to you. In fact, they don't. And they probably won't going forward, right? They come to you for a certain thing. That's completely fine. And if you start doing other things, you have every right to do it, and they have every right to not support you. And that's the whole point. I do like Angry Joe, by the way. I don't love the politics stuff he gets into, but I like Angry Joe just in general. So that's just an example. Bottom line is this. The Warner Bros. President said it perfectly. I love his answer. He's right. She's entitled to whatever she wants to say. Honestly, it doesn't impact what in Harry Potter, by the way, is so anti all of this stuff. Really, the game itself, is it going to just have J.K. Rowling's anti whatever all over it? No, it's not. It's going to be a perfectly fine game that's completely out of all that stuff. In fact, most times games, I think most times games shouldn't even get in that stuff anyway. But there's no way this game will, right? It's going to stay far away. Now, yes, there could be relationships and there could be stuff, and maybe J.K. Rowling says stuff on that or whatever. I don't know. You know what though? I don't care. She has no impact. Like, they had to okay her, they had to get her okay for some things in this game. So yeah, she like touched it. Like, is her fingerprint on one of the keyboards of this, of the developer that made this game? Maybe, but that's it. It's not a big deal. They're using her world, and her world is what we love. That's the bottom line. Nobody really cares about her. We care about her world, and that's fine. And if you care about her, that's also fine. You have your own opinion. It's what I said in my second channel's video, which I still think is very actually up to date, even though it came out literally like 3-4 weeks ago when the game was announced. It's insane how these people take it. So, one, Kotaku, I hope you get sued. I hope that something bad happens to your publication, because yeah, she may be it. She may, and you can think that she is, but let me tell you, those kind of headlines will get you in trouble, or could get you in trouble. And honestly, I hope it does. I don't like Kotaku anyway. As for, again, the raise of opinions on this game, make your own mind. She has nothing to do with it besides her world. If you like her world, you like her world. This is the Harry Potter universe. This is the Wizarding World universe. Hogwarts Legacy, I'm going to play, and I'm going to, you know how many times I'm going to think about JK Rowling? Exactly 0. How many times am I going to think about the Wizarding World? Am I going to think, oh man, Dumbledore would be really cool? Or, oh my god, this part of Hogwarts that we got to see in a movie, that was awesome. Or even moments in the book. But again, I'm not thinking about the author of the book. I'm thinking about the book itself. That's where I stand. It doesn't really matter. People get so bent out of shape, and I think, again, it is sincere. I know it's maybe a little direct. Maybe it's a little. People could maybe consider this mean. I guess so. But in all reality, all I'm trying to do is wake people up. The people that take such offense to this thing, they really need to not. And I get that that's telling people what to do, and that's kind of against my whole philosophy. But it's actually still strengthening the whole be an individual. It doesn't matter what J.K. Rowling says. It doesn't matter what anybody. Now, obviously, there's facts, and there's things that are right, things that are maybe morally wrong. So, and again, you can have whatever opinions that you want, but you know what I mean? I feel like I said it pretty darn well in this video. Again, if you guys like these edgier videos, let me know in the comments below. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And, if this saga continues, I would love to make the trilogy there. I'd like to make the 3rd video. Obviously, part 1 on my first channel. Part 2 is now on this channel. I would love to finish it off with just the most epic of parts 3. So I hope Kotaku does something else dumb in the future, which I'm sure they will. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.